Also joined by a man who's been instrumental in bringing the world's of games and film to life. Our franchise art director, Mr. Joe Cross. Joe, how's it going?
Time to get that cat. Thank you, Joe. So thank you.
Joe, for anyone, obviously there's
not from the same day as well as Bungie. It's Bungie, so kind of same, I guess.
Can you tell us just a little bit about who you are?
Probably same.
So, I'm Joe Cross. I'm franchise art director of Marathon.
Like different division, I assume.
You know, my job is to sort of
set
just
to be
sure.
The visual style
thank you,
sir.
Reimagine this IP.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Farm in the bodies.
World-class art team is set up for
a win-win. A win-win.
Paving the way a bit.
5 cat badges, yeah.
We're gonna have a lot to dig into. Thank you for being here as well.
Thank you.
As we go,
well, there's even marathon. Well, it's kind of at this point the boomer shooter, you know.
Our gameplay director, Mr. Andrew.
Kind of good old classics. Kind of good old classics, you know. They got remastered actually recently, also.
Witz, for anyone out there that maybe just meeting you for the first time,
right?
A little bit about yourself.
Very good.
Yeah, Andrew Witz. I'm the gameplay director. What basically means is I had to work with a bunch of awesome people to set up what the sandbox, the survival sandbox of Marathon is going to be. So that's runners, weapons and equipment.
Fun remasters and they're free to play, yeah. So they do be there. They do be there.
Yeah, what up to the gameplay team?
I still didn't get the banana badges, yeah.
And of course, last but exceptionally not least, someone who you've probably seen in Bungie Vidocs in the past, and someone who's been able to help guide design here at Bungie since Halo 3. The one, the only Mr. Senior Design Lead here, rather, the one, the only Mr. Lars Bakken.
But the new game is, I guess, it was supposed to be kind of extraction shooter, right? I don't know.
Back.
You could.
Maybe they redid it a bit.
I'll leave that to you,
Change
though.
the goal, I'm not sure.
The audience who may not get that reference and is just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, my name is Lars Bakken. I'm a senior design lead on the Run team. Shout out to Run team, everyone that's out there right now. A lot of fans out there. So the Run team is
a bunch of people that are just like, you know, completely
excited
about anything happening.
We make the activities, so we take some of the cool stuff that Andrew's team, we remix it, we add the UESC in.
Yeah, just wonder how
on purpose. And then we also have
how much of extraction, live service, whatever they are, or did they still try to kind of like pivot a little bit? Because I think like they maybe did, because there was like a lot of silence all of a sudden after some time.
Yeah, that's the stuff
like people weren't really super excited about another live service extraction, so there was some silence for some time. So I don't know, maybe they did some changes, but I doubt it though.
Do yourself a favor, make sure you've got your Bungie and your Twitch account linked to make sure you don't miss out on the Twitch drop that's going on right now. And if you also go ahead and subscribe to any channel in the Marathon directory, you can get a special little cat badge next to your name to go ahead and show everyone that you were here today. So go out there, find a streamer you haven't found before, and make sure and drop a sub out there and share the love. And also,
what a nice guy.
If you have dropped your sub here on Marathon the Game, worry not, that money all goes to the Bungie Foundation. So thank you for helping us help them do some good out there. And now we have a big show again lined up. We've got some gameplay on the way coming up very shortly.
Yeah, and Chat Arena badge looks nice actually.
Work with some creators
and Chat Arena badge looks nice.
Show you what they thought of the game, and of course, again, I'll repeat myself, but we've got something really great for you at the end of the show. So make sure and stick around.
But looks
again,
great.
the purpose of today
It looks
is to show
great.
some gameplay.
Yeah, got even a hype train from that one.
Yeah, so
you can get another cat emote in the hype train then.
We have a little bit of
a
taste
another
to
cat
show
emote
you
in the
about
hype
what our
train
game is
too.
about, just to kick us off, so we can put some images to what we've been talking about here. So let's take a look.
The hype train cat emotes too. They have them all. Steve already farmed that one too. Got all the cat emotes there too.
Death. The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
The bearded guy, this art style, yeah, I'm with you on that. I am. Usually what I say. Like this art style for indie games, I guess. Getting some choo-choos there, insane. Anyone got the cat emote there all of a sudden? Can I see actually? Oh, I got something. What did I get there?
You saw that correctly. Marathon will be releasing just
no cat emote. We've got none.
So you'll be able to ship out to town.
And we have this.
And in addition to that,
No
coming
cats.
later this month
Feels
on
bad.
April 23rd, we're going to be running a closed alpha test that you can be a part of. Now, as a quick heads up, this is going to be focused on North America, 18 plus only.
Hater Musk. Yeah, that does sound like it
kind
of.
Front, but don't worry, there's going to be other opportunities.
Yeah, stay flexing the cat emotes from the hype train.
Do yourself a favor, head over to our Discord at discord.gg/marathonthegame. And of course, if you're here in Twitch chat with us today, then you've already done yourself a big favor. Members of our community and moderation teams are going to be going out and looking for folks to drop codes to as well to make sure that you can get priority access when the alpha kicks off. So go ahead and keep an eye out on your inbox. There's no exclamation point drops or anything you need to do, though I'm sure folks will do it anyway. But worry not, you've gone ahead and done yourself a favor by being here today. But let's get into it. What did we just see?
A lot of death, is first what we all saw. But honestly,
the top left sticker is
some of what's going on in Marathon, our extraction shooter that we're creating over here. And it's got a little bit of everything.
Do something like this and be in the audience. That was DreamHack back in the day in 2019.
Crazy stuff happening, but
Me, LSCB, and Tracy were on stage doing the show. And people were sitting in the audience, like drinking some beers and stuff. Those were good times, man. Those were good times.
Obviously, a little taste of the UESC and what they're capable of. A lot of awesome stuff.
And some fun world interactions too. Like there's that sequence where the shutters go down and then everything goes wrong for the team that's in that room.
But
that's it's pretty cool to see those things.
Yeah, everything goes wrong. The Andy Salisbury story. Mr. Ziegler, so why are we making Marathon? Why is Bungie going into the extraction shooter space?
Extraction shooters are something that are a passion of all of ours. We really like the idea of bringing this experience that we've all enjoyed, which is this kind of intense survival-based experience where you are frequently unsure of what's going to happen next, but you're on that adventurous ride of it. We talk about it sort of like it's a horror story.
Whole event for this.
Before you.
I wonder how many people actually tuning in just to get the cat badge. I wonder.
Bring a lot more people into it. When you love
because it's
really
already for 24 hours or something, people can get the cat badge, and there was everyone in the category sitting all day. Just 24/7 streaming, sleeping in category, watching TikToks, playing irrelevant games.
From your side, what's it been like designing for all of this?
I guess it's the Firehead marketing right there.
So when I started at Bungie, it was on the multiplayer team, and I am a competitive person in my nature. I really enjoy PvP, and so having to take that in the Marathon game and think about every single angle of every design, knowing that there will be other human beings.
Did they address what is Marathon about this one actually?
Fascinating and really exhilarating for myself personally, and I also know for the team.
It's been really exciting to see. And obviously, you mentioned we saw a lot. We saw some runners. Mr. Witz, can you do me a favor and help introduce these 4 runners that are going to be available?
The lore is apparently very dank. Well, those shooters had some dank story and stuff.
We're focusing on the core 4 here they're going to be in the alpha. So going left to right, we have Locust. Locust is our soldier kind of fantasy, our soldier kit, all about push forward gameplay, right? The first one in, trying to get as many picks as possible, right? Against either the UESC or other players. Next, we have Blackbird. It's a very reconnaissance-based kit, all about figuring out where players and enemies are in general and punishing poor positioning. Glitch is like our agile
Why
disruptor.
not pumping
kind of
the
kit,
cat
all
mask
about
off?
pushing
I thought
forward,
they were
disrupting any
going
teams
ham
and
with
what
that
they're doing
cat.
and getting out and kind of having that kind of
Wait,
cycle.
there is the cat plushie and
Void
stuff,
is
you know, not on the table there.
Boy, our sneaky boy, all about throwing down smokes, going a full active camo cloak into the darkness, getting some reses, and then taking some people by surprise. So yeah, this is our core 4 right now for Alpha.
A lot of different playstyles to choose from out of
Better
the gate.
Decay? That sounds familiar, but
furthermore,
not
Joe
sure.
Cross,
Not sure.
Also, if anyone's not following Joe Cross on Twitter, do yourself a favor and do so. But you've been sharing some art with these runners pretty recently out there on Twitter with everyone. You know, before the show, we were talking a little bit, and I've heard this come up a lot, but you know, you guys have been working off of this concept of graphic realism. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what that means for the design here?
Yeah, it's one of our ingredients that we've sort of
The lore videos. I mean, maybe we'll play it at some point, you know. It's the boomer told material after all, so maybe.
The visual fantasy reflected the gameplay fantasy well, and then we sort of have our you know, unique recipe of influences and inspirations for the reimagining of this world. And one of those sort of constraints we've created is this idea of graphic realism.
The Beta Decay, sounds familiar.
Reduce the amount of geometry. We limit our materials. We use a lot of graphic design and color. And we sort of use it as a tool to onboard artists who are working on the project, and then it doesn't hurt to have a world-class concept team cranking this stuff out.
Come on, what is this?
And that's sort of the origin of a lot of these designs.
I think we've seen it at some point, didn't we?
The world of Marathon has so much legacy.
Sounds familiar, actually. Maybe I'm wrong, though, but somehow I feel that we've seen
as a kid
that.
who grew up playing it, I know it well myself. But like, what's it been like stepping into this world?
It's amazing. Yeah, for art geeks out there, the father of the Marathon visual world in a lot of ways is this guy, Craig Mullins, who you see art represented on the left, started out as a fan, then got incorporated into the IP officially by Bungie, and so his legacy looms super large, and we've always tried to, pay attention, pay homage, make sure we were doing justice, and you can see here in the center.
A couple weeks ago, I see.
We developed early in the process to make sure that, our sort of approach to graphic realism and style
Full playlist looks so ugly, I see.
Represented that, and then on the right here,
this will be huger a flop. I don't know, man. Like,
with a similar fantasy.
If they manage to kind of pump a lot of hype around it, maybe.
I think it's working out well, and I think we're
because like what they showed, I'm not like.
But also sort of looking back.
Don't see it being some sort of like boogie woogie stuff, It's like a regular run of the mill, like shooter.
It could be.
Okay.
There was plenty recently, actually. That was with similar art styles, similar weapon types, similar kind of like gameplay with all those like the same like iron sights, same looking iron sights and stuff.
Please feel free to throw it in there. Folks on the community team are going to be keeping an eye out, but we've obviously got a chance to go ahead and dive a little deeper. We've done some telling. Let's go ahead and do some more showing by taking a bit of a deeper dive into some more Marathon gameplay.
Yeah, like we need that. Not the yup, dude. Not the yup. None of them stopped except the Tarkov. Pretty much, yeah. Actually, pretty much true. First two arts look like the AI. Oh, and that they are showing there. Yeah, people branch out from Tarkov whenever there's like too much drama, like the recent one, right? When the gray zone warfare was out. Okay, like the explanation, alright.
Cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats. To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is
3
simple.
people co-op though, so
Get
that's
in,
already kind of
gather
like...
as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault.
A duo and 3 people,
Death
alright.
is
Yeah, what
inevitable.
about solo?
But it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents. And in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top.
June Marathon.
And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action
See, you
to
also
the
getting the
forefront.
cat badge.
Dynamic
Thank
and
you, sir.
tactile
Thank you.
gunplay. Runners
Appreciate it.
with
Appreciate
unique
it.
playstyles and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out, to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not
All
the end.
about the friends, I see.
And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner. No 2 runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the
most
fly
likely.
if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends, grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need.
Play
You're
the
always
heal.
free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to
Yeah,
play
that's
your
June
runner
Marathon there.
is your loot and imagination.
Rule.
Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4.
All awaits you while you're getting ganged there.
Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
Now, the big goofy though. Well, I mean, kind of Dark and Darker did that, right? That was actually kind of pretty nice.
All right. It's a decent amount
But
of
you could
gameplay.
play
All
solo
right.
that.
Let's
You
get
could
into
play
breaking
solo
this
without
down.
playing with the
So, I think
squads.
for starters, again, you know, as we touched on before the break, Bungie has such a rich history with Marathon. You know, Joe Cross, from your standpoint, facilitating this gameplay with your art style. Again, what was it like, kind of approaching this from your perspective?
Ray,
What
this
were you looking
true.
to do?
You know, build on a legacy. The narrative of Marathon is incredibly rich and like inspirational, easy sort of inspiration for art.
Cogs a lot.
I also love just sort of having the keys to this car from this era, working on a game from this era. I love older games. I love the way the games look from the PS1, PS2 era. So there was a lot for us, and you know, like I said, paying homage to some of the great sort of iconic artists of the time. So
Yeah, and also we had some keen-eared folks in chat. I think it's Joey Wolfinder asked if this is Ben Starr. Yep, Ben Starr was the narrator of that piece. Excellent ear.
Great voice, right?
Yeah, super cool. Yeah,
Wonderful voice.
he's almost an Andrew Witz, but he does his best. But all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot with a tough one, Mr. Joe Ziegler. Who's your favorite runner?
Ooh, controversial question. I play a variety of them, but I will say probably the
Ben's
one I
not
end up
even
playing
there.
most is Blackbird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Any Blackbird mains out there? I like playing Blackbird because it's a great crew runner. Like, it's in terms of being able to provide a lot of information, provide a lot of support. It's also a great runner that's kind of helps to counter a lot of strategies that can occur, especially ambush strategies that happen. Also to catch Void out of position if Void's trying to hide. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility to how you can play it.
Very fun. Mr. Witz, I think you and I share the same main. I got to ask as well, who's your go-to runner?
Oh, I split my time between Locust. I'm a very push-forward kind of player, as Joe reminds me all the time, because I'm pushing too much, too
You don't
often.
even have a W key. It just goes.
I just love to go fast forward. That's right.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, that push-forward gameplay that Locust kind of has, right? Being like the first to try and get a pick, you know, seeing somebody out of position, going for that pick. Also, I like to play glitch a lot too. Again, like, I really love that disruption play style. I love just finding an enemy crew trying to exfil, trying to extract, and then like taking like the arm cannon and just knocking them out of like the zone, and now they're trapped with me and hopefully my teammates. Joe,
I'm scanning. I'm looking for enemies. It's good, yeah.
To that same end, actually, as you guys kind of discuss the runners, Destas in chat asks, what's the pacing targets to the gameplay? Are there any movement or traversal mechanics?
There are a lot of movement and traversal mechanics inside of the game, but it varies. Your effectiveness varies per runner. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything in like we're making like a survival sandbox, which means everything kind of has to have a cost, right? And so like going, if you want to go fast, like if you want to go fast, like Locust has like a super sprint, so to speak. Like they have leg jets that kind of come on to help you sprint even faster. That causes heat. So basically, it's almost like a stamina system, but we call it heat because we're these awesome mercenary cyborgs, right? Where like the body overheats, and so this character has like some mobility, but you overheat quite a bit. So that's kind of the cost that's there, and so that's what pushes us into like finding implants that maybe like expand like how much like your heat meter, and also give you more agility, so you can even go even faster, right? So yeah, there's a lot of cost in the game in terms of when we place a mobility thing in there, we really want to make sure. It's like, how does this affect the pace, and how does this affect the overall survival sandbox?
And to be fair, we're still looking at the alpha builds. We got to balance a lot of stuff because some stuff is kind of sketchy. Yeah.
No, there's a lot to learn. That's why we're doing this, right?
It's probably replacing your.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, while we're talking about
then.
kind of those finer details, Witz, I'd love to still kind of bug you a little bit. In Marathon, build crafting is a big deal. What does that mean in the world that you guys are building?
Yeah, and so like the runners are essentially like a base, right? And so each runner has, they have a bunch of implants that you can kind of find that do kind of wild things, and like as they go up in rarity, right? There's a lot of stats, so you can increase your resistance to certain things. So like Tox is one, so you can essentially be poisoned, right, as our Tox, and so you can build resistances to that. You can increase your agility. There's shields, obviously, to make you a bit more durable. We have cores. Cores are really cool. They basically give you like extra passives. And at the base rarity, like they have these kind of passives that you kind of play around. At the highest rarity, they are specific to the runner kit that you have, the runner you're playing. And what they do is they really augment your abilities wildly, right? So you can, you know, you're doing one thing and then you get like a core specifically for glitch, and now you're like, oh, my double jump is a triple jump? Like that's how much we want to kind of push that, so that gear really matters. And so builds are
to go full flying mode then.
Implants, the cores, weapons, weapon attachments. Weapons have like a pretty cool progression too. We have gold mods, which are kind of like the highest end of the attachment pool. They're essentially like exotics in our game, right? What is the exotic version of this Magnum that can do some wild stuff? So yeah, like really it's the entire package together is what the build crafting experience is in Marathon.
That's super exciting. And actually, to that same end, we got a question in chat as well from, I think, Firex is how you pronounce it. How many players are going to be in each map?
Varies per map.
Yeah, it varies per map.
Got it.
The footage that people have seen a lot of, Dire Marsh, we support up to 18 players.
Excellent. Okay, all right, so going to be room for a lot of play styles. To that same end, I know we talked a little bit about Void earlier as well. Lars, can you walk us through maybe just your play style?
Balancing going to be all over the place.
Sure, yeah.
Let's go ahead and sell out the best strategy.
I have to give away my secrets. So Void is really fun for me because it leans into this part of my personality that is like very devious. And so, if you go on a run with me, I'll be like, hey, any claymores you see, let me know. And I'm putting those in my backpack, and I'm doing crazy things like, okay, so Void has a prime ability that sends out, I think you saw it in the video, it sends like a wall of smoke that sort of like your home base when you do that. It's a portable. Because when you go in that, you become invisible. You get automatic active camo. So I'll do things like set that up to make people believe I'm doing one thing and then do another. So a lot of subversive things. I'll go in there and I'll claymore the inside, right? Someone comes in after me, they're gonna have a very bad time. But I also do things like I'll go to a place in the zone where there's high tier loot, and I'll claymore it up, and then close all the doors and leave, and be like, I wonder if anyone's gonna show up. And then sure enough, maybe 5 minutes later, I see the shield crack in the HUD, and I'm like, yes, I can go back and see what's going on. So yeah, that's how I like to play.
Yeah, how about you, Joe Cross?
That's why it would be nice to get solo, even though I guess everyone would be playing solo.
If you know me, I'd rather
the stealthy
look good
one
and lose. So
because like healer would be useless then.
I generally pick the runner with the coolest helmet, and in this lineup, I think that's clearly Blackbird. As far as my play style, I'm typically just a decoy. So
it's like, Joe, go over there.
Yeah, exactly. I
look really great.
Yeah, exactly. Just stand in the open for a little bit. Yeah.
So that's the end of my story.
Fair. Well, we want to thank you all for your collective sacrifice. We appreciate it. So actually, to that same end, obviously we do a lot of play testing here internally. Wits, I know you mentioned you've got a folder of some of your best plays, but what are some of your most memorable runs so far?
Some of my memorable runs are really when I think I'm going to be doing one thing, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do a contract. I'm going to be going here. I got to go into this room. I got to interact with this device. And I think it's like I'm safe. Like I'm kind of doing like a routine thing. I can get in and get out if I'm like smart about it and really kind of listen for what's going on. Like there's no UESC around. There's no players around. And oftentimes there's another player. Like the best moments is there's another crew that are going for the exact same thing. And there's this moment of like you're about to turn the key to get into a locked room, and then the other team is right there, and you're like, oh crap. Like, and then you're like, this is all out war in like a hallway that seems to be like a regular hallway, but now it's just like it just gets crazy. And so I think those are the peaks that happen where there's these tense moments you're trying to do something that lead to these very quick crescendos where these mercenaries kind of going crazy, like all these players are jumping in.
You make it sound like you're playing so carefully, but you're not.
It actually does. They're really going to be dependent on like the price and everything.
They're just processing power.
Oh, that will go in the end.
Like it's happening.
I wonder.
It's improvisational, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like, runs can obviously entail a lot, but we also have a question from Sharky218. Is loot going to be just weapons?
No solo
equals
basically.
There's a ton of
There's
them.
a ton.
It's like the whole genre is already like full skip at this point already, because never a solo, man.
There's
grenades.
Never a solo, baby rage.
Grenades.
Yeah, there's grenades. We have a bunch of different types of grenades in the game as well that you can loot in the world. We have valuables. We have backpacks. Yeah, attachments, weapons, materials, keys.
And there's a bunch of stuff too that we're just, we call valuables, but like there's times when you're running low on money and you're like, I just need to do a valuables run right now, and I need to pick up these things and get my money, into my space bank. So.
Space bank, yeah.
That actually is a good segue from, and I'm not making this name up, Ballin' Hobo asks, what do I do with the loot when I extract? Like, why does it matter in the long run?
Yeah, there's a variety of reasons. So a lot of it was related to sort of our factions and contract system.
Scripted questions.
Yeah.
Any
we've
Ballin'
got
Hobos
this
in
entire
chat.
system we call factions. You're doing contracts. They're like missions, and you are being greeted originally by AI representative because you are a mercenary. You don't really have allegiance to anyone. They are going to pay you to do these jobs, and so they'll give you these missions to do. And as you're doing these missions, like Andrew said, sometimes you'll run into danger. But the cool thing about, I think, a lot of the faction and the contract system is like you could complete the, download the agricultural survey from this one area on one of the zones, and you're doing the thing, and you've sort of done it. So even if you die, you've still made progress there, which I think is a really cool aspect of that feature. But then there's also this other meta layer where as you're working with the different factions, they allow you to upgrade yourself over time, and so you can increase your heat meter, you can increase your loot speed, things like that.
I was gonna say, you're trying to get as much loot as possible to meet the challenge of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like essentially, you know, different missions get harder over time, right? Which means you want to have more loot on you so you can survive longer, you know, so just in general, be able to do like, you know, fight all the different, you know, hostile entities in the world, like get through there's a POI on a zone that's heavily fortified by UESC and all of the different units that are there, the snipers, the assault units, like you want to be able to not only withstand that and players. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to get loot again.
And honestly, like a lot of the loot translates into things like upgrades, you know, that you utilize through the factions, but there's also an in-game store called the Black Market where you can use a lot of your currency and things like that to actually re-equip yourself if you go on a bad run, or to upgrade yourself if you need anything from that space. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get a lot of good loot out.
They realized
I don't think I'm ever
guy just like have
short of reasons to get
2
loot out. Yeah,
watches.
That just says something else about me, though. I'm just a loot goblin. So sometimes extraction shooters also can be seen as kind of hardcore and maybe tough to get into. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to make them easier to dive into?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that we could talk about. One is we are obviously
One
investing
smartwatch
besides
is not
doing
enough.
a little bit more onboarding in the front end, so players
just
can
like a
understand a
bracelet
little
there.
bit about what the nature of the game mode is. We're also doing a lot to make combat something that's a little bit more approachable, but also just equally as
What are
deep.
the different
and
time
have
zones,
pretty
yeah.
wide things, but I think
I
Andrew
mean, I
can
guess
talk about
like
it,
Yeah, we want to
Nice.
make like
The
this is
bracelet,
like
I think,
a
alright.
Bungie shooter, right? We want to make sure it's approachable. We like nail
you
those
like
fantasies.
multiple,
Every
you
button
have
press
multiple
feels
phones,
awesome,
huh?
right? And so
You gotta get the
really trying to
multiple
bring
watches there,
that
so
kind of like morph the Bungie action game into like in the survival space where again everything kind of costs something, right? Getting shot, like you're not going to have like a limb system where like, you know, your limb's broken or anything, but you will, like guns do stopping power, right? Which they can knock you out of sprint, they can slow you down, right? Status effects are still in the game. And so if you are hit with a chem grenade, right, you're gonna be toxed. You can be immobilized, right, which really slows you down. You can be overheated. There's all these things, and that pushes you into using consumables and making sure you have an answer for these things that happen. So we're trying to make sure that you keep the depth of the survival game, but the approachability of the action game, right? And so that's how we're trying to marry that together. And in addition to that, if you have some bad runs, right, like, and you don't have a lot of, you see your loot kind of going down, we have the sponsored kits, like it's kind of talking in the video earlier, where it's a package of gameplay items like weapons or equipment or maybe a shield or something or consumables. That's kind of like the floor for what we think you can be really like you can be capable in the environment and actually like fight other players that actually are kitted out. So you're never feeling like the goal is that you can always clutch even if you find somebody who's completed kitted out in like really high-end gear, because that's your payday, right? That's like the beauty of the moment of like, oh my God, I took this player and oh, they have the best shield in the game. Hell yeah. You know?
Yeah. Hurts. I mean, obviously, going to be a lot of good pointers for folks at home taking notes for when they get a chance to get into the alpha.
Before
But
some
we'd be remiss if we
microtransaction
also
ones,
didn't
so that
mention
would
how
be
a
dang.
big part of what we do here at Bungie is working alongside our community, which is why we've
Got
also
some
had the
ropes
chance
still?
since about 2022
Insane.
to work with hundreds of different creators in our community as well, to go ahead and get some of their feedback. So to those of you out there that have joined us, thank you very much for your time and your opinions. They mean a lot. But no need to listen to me talk about it. We actually just last week had a bunch of folks in here to go ahead and play test the very same alpha build that some of you will have a chance to join in on as well. So I vote I go ahead and let you tell them about it in their own words.
You kind of feel the blood pumping.
Got him, got him, got him. Down the ball again and 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 again.
This is a new world. This is a different
be a
take on
playtest,
an
yeah.
extraction shooter.
No! No, we got out!
It's game changing. It is literally game changing.
Epic Video Gamers.
This is such an exciting time for us. You are the first group outside of Bungie to playtest our alpha build.
Suddenly Doctor Disrespect rolling in.
Look daddy up, let's go.
Okay, I am ready and up. Whenever you two are. Yes, sir. Oh, we are bringing some money in this time.
Quick read.
Yeah, I guess John Marathon was one of the streamers then. So it kind of explains that, alright.
Alrighty. Bio research is right next to us. If you want to do the intercepts.
Yeah.
You just want to grab that real quick?
Yeah, we can do that.
You want to get going?
Yep, medal.
That should be a good one.
I didn't actually. I've not been there yet.
Oh, okay. There's...
Oh, yeah.
So, for the gang, there is fall damage, and it is severe if you drop.
I got a mod earlier that like drastically reduces it though. So there are ways to reduce it.
I may have just
animation looks kind of weird.
You dash right before you hit the ground. You don't take safe
good running there.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
His blood safe, his blood.
Right. Yeah, more AI inside the little shrubbery compound over there.
A hostile unit is calling for reinforcements.
Sorry. Excuse me, sorry.
The square shotguns. VOD is reporting already.
Okay, still heading to field maintenance. Yep. Oh, I got AI.
Fair chance of becoming big mainstream extraction shooter. They're probably gonna like pump out a bunch of resources and trying to make it. The question is how long. Like that I would say like nowadays is the main question in games like this. Then you like BRs, extractions, anything new that is out, like usually gets like hype on release because like I mean content creators are always like hungry for something new. Like when Tarkov fucked up then everyone was like, man, like fuck Tarkov, give a new game. And there was like Grey Zone, everyone was super pogging. Grey Zone was like, you know, big for a while. Like for a few days. Some people went like all like, you know, yeah, I'm done with Tarkov, it's so bad. And then like month passes and like all those people back to Tarkov and Grey Zone, I mean, it's alive I guess, but yeah, totally not hype enough.
Either way, I'm getting shredded right now, so I gotta
yeah, this does remind of Apex actually, yeah. It's not a bad thing. Not sure about the style personally, but like...
Yep. That's a purple one.
So yeah, so I think the question is how long. Like, it will be big, probably. But how long?
Big Grenadiers, yeah.
Is there like no recoil, nothing, sorta? Right, that guy just went like full, you know, like full spray mode and that didn't seem like there was something.
Oh, mechanics hit. That's what we need, right? Just mechanical static effect.
I'm using that.
Yeah, I'm inside with them. When you have the mechanics kit, it doesn't take anything. You're just good. Yeah. I'm unlocking the box. Yeah, dropping in big ones too. They've got long shots in too. Oh. Yeah. That's gotta be.
I played one shield. There's a loot up there, huge, absolute. Oh my god, I'm almost dead. I just realised.
Where are they?
They're on the balcony, like south 200.
I got one knocked. Nice. That's annihilated, dude. Oh my god.
I'm out of ammo.
Shield moves you to third person.
Freaking no!
That's it, it's a Brian! Kill him, he's a fiend, dude.
I'm coming to you, Ben.
Yeah, I see him.
John Marathon saving everyone.
Oh my god, that's it! He killed two, I think it's 1v1. Ben, you knocked one.
So Lupa was it? A John Marathon, I guess, alright.
Good stuff. I literally only have a sniper.
A unit is signaling for reinforcements.
Okay, the knock I had was way over here. I don't see anybody over there yet.
He's been quiet for an awful long time. I reckon he's gone to res.
Initially, they for sure gonna pump.
Yeah.
How long the pumping will last, that's a different story. Not so sure, we'll see.
Yeah, he's
Like, will it have longevity? Will it replace like the big players on the market?
Yeah, right on me. This player. I mean,
It does seem like it kinda can, because like most of the extractions, I think, extraction shooters and stuff on the market currently, like at least somewhat success. I'm not even sure, like what is there, like a... Jen, getting the code bug guy. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you, sir. Pump this, bro.
I love you guys.
Continue on low. The gray zone. What else is there? Well, Tarkov, obviously.
no tags.
What was the name of the next owner, Tencent, whatever one.
Yeah, A1.
And that one, I'm not sure how alive that is.
I love you guys.
Yes, sorry, he was.
Delta Force
Yeah, hear him.
has some extraction mode, but I don't think it's like that crazy alive at this point.
I love you guys.
So like almost everything is kind of like, you know, sort of want to be realistic in terms of it, but like Tarkov is like the full gun porn, right? Gray Zone also trying to go like mega realistic and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling pretty confident.
And this one seems kind of like very, you know, like arcadey. Like you don't really see like, you know, some insane recoil, doesn't feel like it, right? Like even with shotgun, you just like boom and like, you know, like everything stays in the same spot. People sniping and sniper like barely like moves the scope and stuff.
Yeah, loot container key, isn't there?
So this is just kind of, yeah, like, you know, like fast movement abilities, shooting, like without much of like, you know, kind of like crazy 5-head
Where did I just hear that thought?
management of the weapon. Well, actually, they will have it. They said some sort of like upgrades and stuff for the weapons and modes.
I knifed one.
But like no super realism, you know. Hunt, yeah, Hunt actually true. Hunt also kind of like is, I would say, kind of like more on the hardcore-ish end. I feel, at least from what I seen, and I seen last time, long time ago. Not sure how it is now. Wait, this one I feel kind of like covers the niche that might be underreserved right now.
Yeah.
Might be.
Yeah. Something's sucking me.
Stop sucking him! It's a purple shield.
So true.
I found a purple enemy.
Hey, Zebra, special about this one? Not so sure actually.
Really?
What I see different is that, yeah, that's what just what I said before. It's just it's more like kind of Apex-ish, I guess, in a way. So like movement, fast movement, a lot of like the movement abilities, like traversal and stuff, abilities in general because you pick classes and stuff.
I should take it, but I don't want it.
Everything else is the same, I guess. And well, style. Style kind of for me is kind of more of a negative thing, really here, but
again?
I guess.
That are on the map.
It does at least what I see for now. It does make it like more easy like to read,
like,
in terms of style, right? As in like,
I don't know.
I wonder if it will be possible to go full like, you know, like mega rat mode, like just like sniping through the other end of the map. You could see when someone was sniping at the player, you could see, you know, the flash of the scope, right? Like what was the called? Like the reflection of light, basically. So like you can't really snipe without being undetected and stuff. Looks like. So like will be less red stuff, I guess, which is, I feel, kind of not a bad thing compared to some other extraction games. But a lot of people just kind of like rat in the end instead of like, you know, going for anywhere.
Glitch is moving.
Trying to go all in a multiplayer game? No, not really. I mean, I'm not really planning. Like, they don't have solo, so that's already kind of basically skip for me.
Down.
Most likely. Like, I just don't play all these games because, first of all, I'm kind of bad at shooters at this point, even though like training can kind of fix it, I guess, a little. Returning back as much as is possible for my, like, you know, boomer reaction and everything.
Yeah, with the freaking purple.
But mostly,
Who has that?
it is just because there's no solo.
The big items, the big drops, the stuff that's like really high value, they're like, I have to get this out.
Doesn't matter if I'm playing Lucas or Void or Glitch. If I've got a better aim, I'm gonna win. There's no other extraction shooter like that where I can have that kind of gameplay.
When people find out about some of the secrets and stuff,
I
they
will
are
go.
going to
I will
lose their
go
mind.
on Dune and shit. That's my stuff. I prefer
Playing so far
PvE.
has just been refreshing, I'd like to say.
Or
Everything
PvP
felt
as an
really
option,
locked
you
in.
know. When you can go solo, preferably.
The next full Bungie
Oh, damn, I got
experience
the job
is an
too.
exciting moment.
The game is inherently fun. I just want to play
What when it's at least like super mass PvP? Like it should be either like, you know, solo, or it should be super massive when like, you know, you don't need some like team, you know, like mega squad action with like the voice interaction and stuff. Just kind of go in full,
Having those
you
creators
know,
in was a
crazy
whole lot of fun.
chaos
Getting to
mode.
work with
That I
both
don't mind.
creators and players alike has been a privilege. It's been a great time getting to set that up, and of course, I
Alrighty,
promise I'm not
portable,
saying this just 'cause I work on
enjoy.
the social media team here, but if you head over to our YouTube channel,
Enjoy.
we have a
Have a
full
good one.
20-minute version of that. So youtube.com/Marathon the Game is where to find us. Also, same with all of our other socials, as long as I'm at it. But Lars, obviously, again, like we talked about before that video, we're familiar with working with our community really closely, but have we ever done it this early or at this scale before?
So I've been at Bungie for a while now, since the Halo 3 days, and I think the thing, even since my time, we've
Do
been
around
really
2
good
in the
about is
evening.
working with players,
Yeah,
working
something
with
like
the
that.
community. It's something we take pride
But
in.
if you need to buy it and it
And
costs a
on
lot
this
for that,
game
then
in
it's an
particular,
extra
yeah,
skip.
we brought
Then it's
people
an
in,
extra
players
skip.
in much earlier into the process
And
than
it
I
probably
think we
will
ever
be.
had
I
before.
doubt they're
And
going to be dropping
it's
some
given us
free-to-play
really good
stuff there.
insight.
I
You know,
really
we tell
doubt
them
it.
when they show up, be brutally honest, because that's how we learn. That's how we understand what needs to change, what needs to get better. And I think it's been really great.
It's been a ton of fun.
It's
I mean,
gonna
even
be
again,
premium,
these folks were all here last
premium
week. You guys were in
premium
there
price.
with some of you playing as well. What was it like?
Oh, it was super exciting. Yeah.
A weird
I mean,
meta progression
when
like
you
in
have a lot
Tarkov.
of,
They mentioned
well,
some
there was a
reputation
combination
there.
of players who we've been engaging
They
with
mentioned
for a
some
long time,
reputation, so
and
you
some
will
players
need
who
to
were
build
brand
up
new.
that at least
And
already.
It was great to see sort of like the mix of the both, especially when you got to some higher level skilled players who just joined in and immediately got it and started destroying everybody, like you know, like Tens and you know Lupo was in there, and but yeah. Yeah, you had some pretty awesome moments, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was pretty amazing to jump in, and I'm gonna throw Nick under the bus for a moment here. Like, apparently he was on the team with Brian and Jeff Keighley, and they were not having success. Y'all were like destroying them,
Clearly
the
Nick was the
creators.
problem.
Yeah, he's probably your team
Jeff
that was
got bullied
destroying them. So I was brought
Talking
in as like
shit
a
about Jeff there.
hired gun to help get Jeff through, and
And just wipe the game over and over. That's
I
what
did my
people want
job.
sometimes. Though. That's the interesting part about it. I do think it's intentional. It's the same as like the Path of Exile seasons.
Mission
you know.
accomplished, Lars, yeah.
It's like at some point
Something
they
that
just
is used to,
realize that
honestly.
like
With
people
also
do
that
want
you were
that,
you were saying
you
you were
know.
observing a little
People
bit
just
as well.
want
maybe not
shit to
playing
be
quite as
wiped
much. What was it
completely
like,
and
you
do it
know,
all
from your
over
perspective,
again.
getting to see all these folks jump in and play the game
Yeah,
for
that's
the
what
first
Rust
time,
started doing. You
I
know,
mean, it was
like Rust
awesome.
also was
It's
kind of
awesome,
like,
playing the
all right,
game
you
for
just
so
like you
long, right,
know
and seeing other
get
people play the game.
resources, build the
It's just a great
base,
feeling, right?
get
With, like, the whole
weapons.
team. You can
Then
see
what?
things that you designed for
Like,
happen,
okay, you
and, you know, in
PvP,
real life,
you
right,
either
see
kind of like, you
people
know,
who are like
kill
being
things and get
hunted
their
by
loot,
other players that take refuge
or
by
you
like
get killed and lose all your
fortified
loot
area
and
watch the
farm
UESC
again, and then at some point
equalize
you
a
just
little
kind of
bit.
like,
Moments
why?
like that was
Everyone
great.
is like
There was another
others
fight
got
that was
super
like,
strong because
it
they
was like, it
farmed
looked
for
so
a while
fun,
and
but
killed
also
all the
hilarious,
people and
but
got
also,
all the
like,
loot
really,
from
like,
them, and some
it
other
was like a
people are
great
just
time,
super
but
weak.
also
So
really
like,
tense was there was
what's
two
the point?
There was two crews
And they made
that
also
were
servers
fighting,
that are basically
under
being
the
reset
dire
like every
marsh,
like
there was a bunch
week
of
or
tunnels
two
and
even
stuff
in
like
Rust,
that,
and like
and they were
game's
fighting in the
successful,
tunnels,
game's doing
and
good.
the fight was literally like almost 1-by-1s, like 3 and 3.
People just go in,
like constantly
farm,
moving towards
you
each
know,
other and fighting
and for
in
like
the
a week
hallway.
they
The
basically
person
just
in the
like
front
having all this
dropping
like
meds for people
PvP
in
and
the back
stuff,
and
and then just
changing
everything
positions.
goes from
And that
beginning
fight went
again.
into like little vents as well. So it was like this it was this hilarious chase that was like it was super tense because you didn't know exactly whether
That's
you were going to
really
get third party,
yeah.
and they were just the volume of the room kept on going up from those two crews because
Yeah,
they
Hunt
were
was
just
like a
"Where
bit
are they gonna get
different
flanked?
way,
There's another
which,
vent right
I
there
mean,
that could pop up from there."
it works for
They were
them.
shooting vents just like
But
out
like
of
Tarkov,
just
every
pure paranoia.
wipe,
It was
Tarkov
awesome.
gets a bunch of hype.
Good
Tarkov
balance to
gets a
strike,
bunch of
obviously,
people
yeah.
coming in on
And you,
Twitch,
again,
so
we
they
mentioned
kind of
you
like
got to play with any
using
other
this like
creators you got to dive in
Path
with.
of Exile
I was on the team
strat.
with
For
Valkyrie
every
and
wipe, they
Katarina,
also try to kind of
and
like
we had
align
a lot
some
of
like
fun. There was like a
updates,
couple
right?
moments
Some
where
new
we had where
content
we
and stuff.
bunkered
So it's kind of
down
like new
underneath
season
green
basically.
house in
So
the
like
tunnels.
wipe,
The tunnels
new
are dangerous,
content, and
they're
people
fun.
all come in to
But we
watch
basically
it.
created like a little claymore nest down there, and so we were baiting them down into it. And yeah, it was pretty successful. I'm telling you, the Claymore strats are good. Yeah.
That's true.
Don't sleep on
That can
Claymores.
be, yeah.
Pretty
That
solid.
can be.
Yeah.
I don't know if these
Ours is
guys
like,
will
I
be
know.
going to do the wipe
So
meta.
even in addition to these
I do kind of
creators,
have a feeling looking at
the
this that they're not
legacy
gonna.
of Marathon's community
I
goes
kind
so
of
long,
feel
so,
not.
or goes so far rather.
Because they make everything
as
so
someone
kind of like,
who's
you know,
played a lot
like
of Aleph 1 in the past
arcadey and
as well
casual,
myself,
that I
back
don't
on
think they're
my
going to be doing some
Titanium
sort of
G4
crazy
power
wiping
book
there.
So long ago. Bringing in the Aleph 1 team was really, really exciting. You guys had a chance to
Just
work
like
with them
some,
as well, isn't
you
that
know,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
battle
it's super
pass
exciting to sort of connect to the
for a
heritage of
season,
Marathon, right? Like to keep that
and
alive
that's pretty
as we're
much
sort of
it.
building this new world. And so working with the LF1 team has been really awesome with the Marathon Classic on Steam. Is the release that they had, as well as the Marathon Classic 2, I think, is on Steam as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of those, it's like sort of connecting the threads, if that makes sense, you know? Sort of remembering the past as we're sort of building this new, re-envisioning in a lot of ways of what Marathon is.
Yeah. Actually, kind of on this topic as well, about the dangers of the world, we do have a question from Twitch chat. Are there dangerous PvE encounters? Obviously, you've mentioned that the UESC is out there, pardon me, and you should underestimate them at your own peril. But can you tell us a little bit more about maybe some of those emergent threats that await players?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the UESC security units that are out there. There's a bunch of different types that do different things, so watch out for them. We also have ticks, which are these wonderful, surprising, explodey fauna. Yeah, they run at you. They run at you, explode on you, and you have to shoot the nests actually to get rid of them essentially. Otherwise, they'll keep coming. And there's a bunch of hazards and stuff that are like going to be on the map as well. Like we have a bunch of like tox rooms and all kinds of surprises that await players. And yeah, in the alpha there's a few, but
what's the scariest UESC unit to you?
The scariest unit? The Ghost Commander for me, for sure. The Ghost Commander, their ability is like they go into active camo and they actually have clone. They have a bunch of like clones that go out there, so you think you're not sure which one to shoot. And then by the time you recognize which one is actually the real one, right, it's like it may be over for you. But that's one. The sniper, also love the sniper as well. We really want to have these prolonged sniper fights that are really great against the UESC.
Houses will be in some specific places, or it's just kind of like
really
random?
push them and they notice you're pushing, they'll punish you for that too.
Specific places,
like,
that sounds like, you know, people will figure that out fast.
Tread carefully.
Not to be trifled with, right?
And the recruits, honestly, the recruits, they have this rush down that they do. If you're not too careful in knowing where they're going to be flanking you and rushing you down from, like, yeah, we're purposely making them these formidable foes that you can't get treasure out of the world easily, and they're guarding it, and they're doing a pretty damn good job.
And you can't ignore them either. Once they're on your set, you kind of got to figure out a way.
Yes. Exactly.
Also, too, we've got another question from, I believe, Shebsky. Can a team be composed of any number of runner types, like 3 Blackbirds, for example?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
There's no restriction on how you assemble your crew. You can all play the same. You can create a meme comp if you want. Or you can diversify a little bit, you know, and sort of try to use each other's utilities. But we've seen them all. It's been really cool to see kind of the different combinations we've seen. Yeah.
But you may never know, like those 3 different like players that are playing Blackbird, they may have very different builds and what they're gearing towards in Blackbird, right? Like they may be some of them, like one of them may actually have implants that allow them to go in active camo. That's not a specific thing for a runner, so we're purposely trying to make it so that you can diversify.
I did see the shield wall comp, which is like basically 3 locusts in the playtest from last week. But yeah,
let's go. So you know, again, obviously, it's been so much fun to hear you guys even talking about this game and the experiences you've had. You've been building a world that's really ripe for players to tell their own stories in. You know, again, with the closed alpha on the way on April 23rd, as players.
Closed alpha there, April 23rd, eh? Being cut out. It wasn't supposed to say that. The log. Come on, man. Steve already registering there.
Some of them to jump in. What are some of the stories you're most excited for them to get to dive in and maybe tell themselves?
Sending the application.
So many. I mean, there's so many different stories that I think are that we're looking forward to seeing happen, especially ones that we've never even seen before. But getting onto the planet, like honestly, just trying to survive amongst all the different threats that exist there.
Ahead already of time.
When our trail says death, it's death. You know, there's a lot of death in the game. The learning from it, the challenging yourself, the getting back up and trying to do something new. It's gonna be exciting. I'm sure there's plenty of other things.
I'm curious, Mr. Cross. What are you expecting?
I mean, I'm had the fortune to launch Destiny and now Marathon. It's always amazing to put something out into the world that you've been working on. you know, sort of in a bubble for 6 years or something like that, and have the players experience the visual world for the first time is amazing. Introducing the IP into the world, you know, sort of beyond the game, you know, sort of the culture it creates. Always excited to see like what the fans tell us what the game is and what the metas are and what the IP is, and so that exchange is always amazing.
Yeah, check out the Discord. It's getting wild in there right now. Wits, how about you? Anything come to mind on your side?
I'm just really excited for folks to discover the content and play with it in interesting ways. We've been making this meal for a bit. It's just time to see folks play, right? Yeah. Like we've been making the sandbox for a bit. We've been working together on all the activities and everything in the world, right? It's just going to be exciting to see people react to it organically and learn from it.
Yeah, very exciting.
I'm also curious to see which runner will be the crowd favorite, out of the end. I have theories.
I know you have many theories.
Yeah.
Many theories.
Chat, Discord, let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking.
Absolutely.
But that brings us to just about the conclusion of what's been a very action-packed show. So for starters, guys, thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
I mean, thank you so much, and thank you everybody out
The
there.
alpha
Like,
within the
our team is literally sitting behind these cameras here, and
or not?
they're amazing. Like, you know,
I
you
wonder
should
if
give
people will
yourselves
be
a hand,
playing.
you know, for putting together.
People will be streaming. These are showing maybe a little more gameplay, not gonna lie.
Also,
like yapping while showing, you know.
There's an immense amount of staff here that has been super gracious and kind to come and help work with us on this. So just want to make
still,
sure
not bad.
all of you, let's give you a hand too. You know, you've been doing an amazing job. Thank you.
People got the cat badges. Here's dude man. He did the job. He did the job.
So again, as we noted at the top of the show, coming up at the very, very end, we've got a very special surprise. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and stick around all the way through till the end. But again, a huge thanks, Joe Ziegler, Joe Cross, Andrew Witz, and Lars Bakken. Thank you all for being here today. And of course, again, to echo Ziegler, thank you so much to the entire dev team here at Bungie. Thank you so much for being here today. Whether you're here with us in person or you're at home, it's your contributions that make Marathon possible. So truly, thank you. It's honestly humbling to be here today. And again, of course, the crew here, thank you all so much for all of your hard work.
Well, thing to do about mostly is
incredible
cheaters.
seeing this stage come up so
Cheaters
much,
ruin
so quickly, rather.
nowadays,
So thank you so much. It's been a gargantuan effort, and it's all thanks to your efforts.
You want to play this probably, you know, for funsies, you need to play on release.
All of you fine folks out there for joining
Give it
us
like
today.
a month or
It's
two,
such
and
a
it's all going
privilege
to
for
be
us to get
fucking
the
cheater
opportunity
read
to
and
share
if the
what
game
we've
is
been working on,
successful.
and it matters most when you show up and join us. We know you have busy days, and we're thankful to be a part of it. So thank you for joining us here on this Saturday morning. And of course, we got something fun at the end. Make sure you stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating Scarrow and Mr. Raffle Waffles, Milo, out there here just after the show ends. So go ahead and tell them we said hello when you get a chance to drop into their chat.
The post
as has become kind of a tradition here at Bungie with our streams, we've saved just one more special thing here for you at the end. Now, we've told you a lot about the game so far, but we haven't had a chance to really touch on the narrative just yet. And we're really excited to build a story that's innovative in the extraction shooter space, both in and out of the game. And we'd love to show you a glimpse of that now. So we've had the opportunity to partner with Academy and Emmy Award-winning director Alberto Mielgo to go ahead and show you just a bit of a snapshot of what life is like on Tau Ceti. So we hope you enjoy, but in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
Galore. Be a nice way to think single player there. this happen in gameplay videos, yeah.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it sculptor well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless things that mocked them, and the heart that fed, and the heart that fed."
Welcome once again. Once again. As the new shell feeling.
I mean, it feels just like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion.
Like $1 trillion. Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment is coming up and will be charged against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah. Supposed to be my lucky charm.
Six DLC.
Can you identify her?
Yeah, that's my mom. That's your mom.
Now, consider this. Do you recognize this child?
Who are you? I don't know.
It's you.
What? Really?
The whole movie go in there, dude. Huh?
Hey, what's that you always tune into? Worth anything?
Do different playtests there.
It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you ever wonder what happened to these people?
It's not my business.
And this music is? You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Got the John Deus Ex. Big artsy game there, dude. And we got some extraction stuff instead.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Boundless and bare. The lone and level sand stretch far away.
The best thing of this game, I assume. The best thing that came out.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
Yeah, with just like Omega trailer and stuff, deep, and then you go like, and it's just kind of like some. Then you log in and there's just like, you know, like someone just dropping a bunch of like gamer words in the lobby, and someone is just like with unmuted microphone like eating and watching TV on the background. And then you all get wiped by some June Marathon. And then you uninstall. That's it. True dog. So yeah, they didn't drop any prices and stuff, right? Just the alpha test. Yeah, the cinematic was good. Huh? The creator alpha gameplay. Let's see. Lots of streamers gonna be playing some now. Still can just fire if it flops, yeah. I don't think it's gonna flop, but I'm not sure how big that will be though. Like it's probably gonna be like massive because they're already like pumping all the streamers, like flying the streamers out and everything, you know, that's gonna already like get them at least initial boost. Will they hold that boost? That already is a big question mark. Yeah, just get like some like dang sci-fi like that as a, you know, as a proper single player, not the multiplayer stuff. No, they got the whole fucking movie for that already and everything. Seen Tiger Mafia. Get lost in the multiplayer game there, yeah. Cameraman extracting already, true. The big Quarpa house, the one and only. The Minecraft home. There's all the company people that are like sitting. That's why applause is so coordinated, man. You're not applauding when the sign glows. You're not getting the bonus there. And the effectiveness of applause is going to your monthly KPI. The mandatory applause training. I think it's just like a sign or something, probably. I didn't pay attention. Did they show something like that? Is it either a sign or they were like people walking around like clapping? So they probably just kind of like, you know, like some people who just kind of like pump up the crowd, I guess, you know. I would assume. I mean, hopefully it's good. It's no solo, so that's already kind of basically skip it, you know. But I mean, hopefully it's gonna be enjoyable for those who will be playing. But it also depends how much it will cost and stuff, because that we also still don't know, I assume, right? Because if it's gonna be like, you know, another like even $50, that's already gonna be kind of hard sell. Kind of hard sell. If it's gonna be more, then like, oof, dude, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, unless you go like solo that is like, yeah, the solo that supposed to wipe the squads there and stuff, yeah. Sure. Yeah, let's go full red mode there. Get all those claymore traps and everything, you know, and just like try to pick someone up from the invis. A few live service games that are left that Sony's pushing, yeah. I wonder. Got some hype. People wanted the cat badge. People wanted the cat badge. They already got some marketing right. I thought they would be pumping that cat mascot, you know, like left and right there, with some plushies and everything. Concord 2, yeah. Like I wonder. Have the new extraction dropping, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, cat is firehead marketing indeed. Sure got a lot of like a lot of noise around it. Where is the plushie and everything though? Not a soul to feed Darkovan on. Well, as I said, yeah, like this one might actually take the niche with kind of like more like, you know, sci-fi, more like mobility centered, more kind of like arcadey, casual. Maybe even quote unquote, plus like the class based stuff, right? You can have healers and everything in team. So it's kinda has potential to get its own like niche and corner there, but it really will depend on the price. Yeah, I feel price will be like a very, very big factor. Price, availability on different platforms and stuff, you know, like PSN requirements, I guess not gonna be a thing, but they still for some reason don't even fucking sell in the countries that don't have PSN, right? So that's already like half the world probably gone from there. If this one will follow, also, you know. And in general, if they sell, that's already kind of like the potential risk there, you know, depending on the price, I guess. Alright, fine. Good. That ain't gonna go anywhere already. Boom, the explosion. So yeah, people got their insane cut about Giza. Feels good, man. That is very nice. The marathon enjoyers will see though. How many will there be in the end? Alright, so time to go get some sleep. 11 p.m. here. So I'm gonna be back.